In the last video, we looked at what makes something a living thing, what characteristics if an object has, then that object would count as a living thing. Now we'll look at the 5 well-known kingdoms that living things fit into. Now, new research found that there's more than 5 kingdoms, but to keep it simple for now, we'll just work with these 5. So, the 5 well-known kingdoms are 5 major groups that living things are classified in, as in put in groups in. The 5 kingdoms are bacteria, protista, fungi, plants, and animals. There is a picture of each on the slide. This is the bacteria, this is the protista, this is the fungi, this is the plant, and this is the animal. You can see there's a plant there as well. Now, if we look closer, first one we're going to look at is bacteria. Bacteria are made of one cell. If you remember what a cell is one block of living thing. So they're usually made of one block only. They can replicate themselves very quickly. So you might start with one bacteria and it can turn into thousands in a very short time. The way they get nutrition is through absorbing it from their environment. They can move by rotating. If you can see in the diagram of the bacteria, they have these tail-like features we call flagella, which they rotate, and that causes the bacteria to move forward. This is a video showing how quickly bacteria is growing. So the second group is the protista group. They also commonly seen as one cell, meaning one block of living. Very small, cannot be seen without a microscope. Same with bacteria. You can't see an individual bacteria without a microscope. Some make their own food, so some can use the sunlight to make their food, and some eat other cells or absorb from their environment, like the bacteria. These are different types of protista, as you can see in the image. This is a video talking about protista a bit more. The next group is the fungi group. We know them more like mushrooms, but mushrooms are not the only thing that are included in here. Can be made of one cell or many cells. So they can be just one block or can be made of many blocks or many cells. So this fungi in this picture would be made of many cells, because we can see it in our naked eye. The way that fungi live, they absorb their nutrition from dead cells after it breaks them down. So usually we see the fungi or the mushrooms in the woods, in areas where plants decay, and that's where mushrooms live, because they can take the nutrients from the breaking down of the plants and use that to grow. One way it makes more of itself is by releasing many tiny spores. So you can see in this picture there's some kind of a cloudy dust that's coming from the mushroom. That's because it's releasing many small spheres or spores that travel and then grow up to be bigger mushrooms. This is a video about mushrooms. Plants. We all know plants made of many cells. Plants, as you can see, they big structures that we can see in our naked eye. It's because they're made of many cells, many blocks of living. They make their own food using the sun light in a process we call photosynthesis. And they absorb water and nutrients from the ground. So if there's water and nutrients, the roots of the plant pulls those nutrients and water inside of the plant, and it travels all over the plant and then gets used in the cell. They have a pigment or color called chlorophyll, which gives them their green color. So usually plants are green, and that's because they have a special color or pigment that's called chlorophyll, and that chlorophyll helps it actually to absorb the sunlight. Now, the final group in here is animals. We are part of this group. As humans, we are part of the animals group. Animals are made of many cells. We are made of many cells. This animal is made of many cells. So as animal, we eat other organisms to get necessary nutrition. So we eat fungi, we eat plants, we eat animals to get all necessary nutrition. Um, we can move. Sorry for the mistake here. They can move very quickly comparing to other kingdoms. So we see that as animals, we can travel big distances comparing to other types or kingdoms of organisms where they usually move very slowly comparing to animals. We as animals, we have to find partners before we can make more of ourselves. That's why people get together or get married. Same with any other animal, they usually require some kind of partner or mate in order to create more of themselves or in order to have babies. This is a video explaining how we classify animals. So we're gonna focus a bit more on animals because this is the group that we belong in, and this is the group that we can very clearly see and make observations about. So the first major division that we see between animals, that some animals have backbones and some animals don't. And there is particular names for this division. So animals with backbone are called vertebrates. So they have bones. They have some kind of strong bones at their back. Whereas animals without backbones are called invertebrates. So if we take this spider and look inside of its body, we're not going to find any bones like we see inside of a fish body. So let me repeat this. Animals with backbones called vertebrates. Animals without backbones are called invertebrates. Now, if we look further into classifying animals into smaller groups, we see one group emerging, which is a major group, and we are part of that group, the mammals group. So what is it about mammals? Well, they include a wide range of animals, apes, lions, kangaroos, bats, humans, and others. This is just a small amount of mammals that we can see in this picture. Their young grows inside the mother, so as mammals, they carry their babies inside of their stomachs before they give birth. The hair keeps the animal warm, so mammals have hair on their skin that keeps them warm. They feed milk to their young. So as mammals, the way they take care of their babies is that they provide them with milk. They can provide milk to their babies or their young. This is a video about kangaroos, koalas. It's interesting what koalas can do. Koalas are mammals. So I have some questions for you, and I want you to attempt these questions. And these are specifically about mammals. So why do you think that whales and dolphins are classified as mammals and not as fish? So think about the information we just went through about what makes an animal to be classified as a mammal. How can we classify a new animal as a mammal? So how can we look at a new animal and know that's a part of the mammal group? Some mammals can fly. True or false? You might go back and look at the picture and see if there was any flying mammals, but can you think of one? Sorry. All mammals have the same type of diet. True or false? Explain why. So I want you to think about the mammals that we saw. Do they have all the same type of diet? Or is there difference between? Is there animals that eat differently than Is there mammals that eat differently than other mammals?